Hi. This is going to be a very different kind of video today. My husband and I have been living in Michigan for 9 years now, and I have gone through so much since moving here. I'm originally from Toronto, and 9 years ago, I packed up and I left and I moved in with my then boyfriend. And I have, since moving here, experienced friendships, and I started my own business for the first time, became an entrepreneur. I changed careers several times. I have transformed so much as a person and experienced travel that I never thought I would. And this place has given me so many experiences that I never would have had otherwise. And I'm so grateful for them. But moving is something that we have been discussing for a while now. And we are finally getting ready to go on a huge trip across the country to California to see if moving there is something that would be suitable for us. California just checks a lot of boxes that we're both looking for. And we are going to be, in 1 week from now, driving across the country. We don't have an end date for this trip, but we're going to start in Northern California and work our way down. And so I'm just packing right now, and I thought it would be fun to take you guys with us on this trip and show you the highlights. And if we decide to move there, then you'll be part of that experience with us. This is our second road trip of this nature. A couple years ago, we wanted to see if it was possible to travel and work remotely. And so we did a trip down the East Coast. We started in Pennsylvania, we did New York, New Jersey, both of the Carolinas. We visited New Orleans, we did Austin and Houston, Texas. We saw Memphis, we saw Nashville, and then we came up through Kentucky. So it was quite an incredible trip and an experience that I'll never forget, because before that, I didn't know that it was possible for the two of us to travel and work. And that was the first time where I really put that belief system to the test. And being able to do that was something I always wanted to be able to do. And the fact that we made it happen, we made it work, was a testament to, for the first time, really grounding into the knowing that I can create the life that I want, that I really can make anything happen for myself if I set my mind to it, and over time I can put it into existence. And so we came back from that trip exhausted, but really happy that we did it. And this time we're going out west, but rather than making this a trip just for the experience of it, we are going to see if we can see ourselves living there. And so we are keeping it really open-ended. We don't have an end date. So if we don't like it, if it's not for us at some point in time, we'll just come back. But if we decide that we really like it there, then we're going to get a long-term rental property in an area that we like and live there for a while and see if it's truly where we want to end up before we make the big commitment of purchasing a house. So what we have planned so far is next week we're going to drive from Michigan out to Des Moines, Iowa, go to bed, get up, and then we're going to go across to Cheyenne, Wyoming. I would love to spend extra time in Wyoming to see the incredible national parks there, but my husband is recovering from ankle surgery back in February, and extending our trip for a 5 or so days or a week to do some incredible hiking there is just not something he's capable of doing right now. So we're going to have to go back to Wyoming to do that. So we're just going to park there for the night, and then we're going to get up, and then we're going to drive out to Salt Lake City. We're going to spend a couple days in Salt Lake City, and then we're going to drive out to Reno, spend a night in Reno, and then our first stop is Yosemite. We're going to spend 3 days in Yosemite. We're going to have 2 dogs with us, and so we're not going to get to see as much of Yosemite as we would like to, because in most of Yosemite you can't bring your dogs with you, but we're going to do our best. And then we're going up to Mount Shasta. We're going to spend 2 days in Mount Shasta, which is really just for me, that's an area that I've been wanting to visit for a really long time. So I'm so excited to be able to see that area. And then we're going to go over to the Redwoods, and that's really what Dan wants to see. And so we're going to spend 2 days at the Redwoods, and then we're going to make our way down to San Francisco. And we're going to spend 2 weeks in San Francisco just to have a place to park after a couple weeks of moving around like that. There's an office in San Francisco that Dan can transfer to for his job. Just so happens to work out that way, and he has some family and some friends there and some coworkers, and so we're going to spend some time in San Francisco, and then we're going to make our way down the coast. And from San Francisco, we haven't fully decided yet, but I know that we want to stop in Santa Cruz, and then we're going to make our way down to Monterey, Carmel, and Big Sur. And then from there, we're going to make our way down, I think, to Santa Barbara and spend a couple days there to recharge. And then from there, we haven't decided yet. We might bypass LA altogether since we're familiar with LA, we've seen LA, and we don't necessarily see ourselves ending up there. But if you have any recommendations on where to go and what to see, I know I'd like to stay close to the coast. At some point, I'd like to check out Joshua Tree and Palm Desert and Palm Springs, but I'm thinking making our way gradually down to San Diego, and eventually, if at some point we really enjoy an area, we'll just park ourselves there and stay there. So right now I'm just packing all of my stuff up. I'm just going to show you what I have so far. We're trying to pack really minimalistically because we have a ton to fit in the car. What's so funny is that my sweatshirts right now are what is going to be taking up the most space. And I realize where we're headed, I might not need them like I do here, but I have anxiety with parting with my sweatshirts because I'm always cold. My goal is to fit everything in this suitcase. Wish me luck. So we officially leave tomorrow, and I've just been reflecting on the last few years because this trip has been such a long time in the making. And before some of our other trips, there was always this element of anxiety attached for me. Either because of the logistics, that trip that we did down the East Coast, there were so many moving parts to it. And a year ago, we went to Australia, and just the distance and all of the moving around that we were doing, there was just a lot of nervousness attached. And this time, I don't have that at all. I'm just really excited, and there's this feeling of potential and openness attached that feels really exciting to me. When I moved to Michigan 9 years ago, there was this incredible feeling of having a fresh start where nobody knew who I was and I could be whoever I wanted to be. And there was something so freeing about that. And I know that we're not officially moving yet, but I just have that same feeling, knowing that I get to determine who I am and how I show up, and that nobody's going to have any preconceived notions of me, and whoever I've been all this time, all these years leading up to this moment, I can leave that version of me behind if I choose to, or bring elements of her with me that feel the most aligned. And there's something so incredibly hope-filled within that, exciting filled within that, and it just feels so right. So I'm repacking. I'm a really bad packer. I packed up my suitcase like a week ago just to see if everything would fit, and I decided to remove a sweatshirt, and then I added 500 more things, and so here it is. I'm gonna see if it's gonna fit in my suitcase, and at this point, like, this is the last chance I have to pack, and so let's see how much of this I can actually take with me. Dan?
Yeah. Yeah, there's no way it's gonna close.
I'm having a problem.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way. I can like.
I don't know how to pack. I don't know how to.
Take a bigger suitcase.
It won't fit in the car.
Yeah, well.
It will?
I think so. If that's what you need to bring, that's your only choice. Like, there's no way. And unless you want me to,
Do I need to bring this? No, I don't. I don't know how to go someplace for potentially forever without these things.
Well, here's the deal. When I come back in October, I can ship things out to where we are, or just take 2 suitcases on my flight back.
If I take the bigger suitcase, I can fit all this.
So take the bigger
Will
suitcase.
it fit in the car?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get the bigger suitcase.
Yeah. There's no like, unless I can take some of it, but I'd have to not bring towels.
It's fine. The bigger suitcase will fit this easily.
Yeah.
My toiletries aren't even in here.
Come and look at it. Like, look at, you're a foot wide. It's like, if I could just press this down to half its size, like, you need to vacuum seal that shit to make it fit.
Okay. Okay. I was trying to be the, like, minimalist cool girl, like, I can live off of just the essentials and I can travel the world and out of my backpack. That's not me, clearly. So I have permission to take the bigger suitcase, and I'm gonna give that a try, and I think that's gonna work.